Morning, and we have the incredible Sheena Reagan here.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
I feel like the Gordon's fisherman.
I feel like the corduroy bear.
You feel like the corduroy?
Or wait, is it Curious George?
He wasn't. No, what was his name? Was his name Corduroy?
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's the deal, guys. We've gone out of our way to, as we usually do every week, stepping up our game in the graphics department. We have a brand new Lobby Talk intro.
Intro side.
Look at that. Oh, we should do our song. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and Lobby Talk,
Lobby Talk. Are you ready for Lobby Talk?
Lobby Talk, it's Lobby Talk. We got to sign on Lobby Talk. Lobby Talk.
Looking for musicians for an official jingle. Call in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're ready for it because today we are talking about storms. We're talking about rain.
Love that.
We're talking about hurricanes, which I know we got people joining us from all over. And you can tell a Floridian versus a non-Floridian in how they respond to a Florida storm.
That's right.
Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you are a Floridian?
I'm a native.
Born and raised?
Born and raised local.
There's only like 3 of us in the entire state.
Yeah.
Okay. But we understand this state. We understand what you signed up for.
Yep.
We understand what you're dealing with. We also understand a few things about rain and storms as it comes to Florida.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's certain storms I can't handle, like a tornado. Don't even talk to me about tornadoes.
idea.
I'll just have a heart attack. But hurricanes, I feel like I handle pretty well at
Yeah?
this point in my life. Yeah.
What's one of the worst storms you can remember being caught in, or worst hurricanes you can remember?
Yeah, I would say Charlie for sure. I was a teenager. I was 16, and my dad at the time, his girlfriend lived in Port Charlotte, and she lived in a really nice house. So he's like, "Let's go down there because her house is stronger than our little wood house or whatever." So as we're driving, we were on the road when they changed it and they're like, it was a 3, it's a 5.
It's a 5. It's a 5.
If you
Everybody
haven't
run.
left, don't. If you have, seek shelter. And I'm like, it's a 5. And we went down to Port Charlotte, which ended up being...
We gotta pause though. Yeah. We understand what that means. To the average person right now tuning in from Montana,
hey, there is no 6.
There's
That's
no
all
6.
You need to know.
It doesn't go any higher.
5.
Yeah, this is the worst you could get.
Yeah,
and they're like, it's coming to you.
When they say cat, that means catastrophe.
Right.
Level.
Which it does kind of like make the word a little less dangerous. The fact they put there's a cat.
Yep.
A cat before it. What you think?
They should measure it meows.
It
was meow, 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 meow. That's how severe it was. Meow, 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 meow. That's like the alert.
It's just cats flying across the screen.
Just little kitty cat heads like swirling around.
Right. So the first cat is just kind of like, yeah, you're fine. Second cat is like, eh. Third cat's like, meow, meow. Fourth cat's like,
meow, meow.
Anyway.
Meow, meow. It starts to become a siren, right?
So cat 5 is where you're at.
Cat 5. And then it took a turn towards Port Charlotte.
Yes.
So when we were there, I remember her house had like these really nice French doors in the back, and she and my dad had to tie belts around the door handles and like lean back because they were just slamming, and the skylights were jumping. It was very intense. We saw roofs being ripped off. We saw a pole crush somebody's Camaro right out there in the street.
Let's pause for a second. That might have been the hand of God. He's like, yeah, you don't really need that car, really. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Lord, take from me anything I don't need.
Bam! Camaro gone.
Okay.
His mullet was blowing in the breeze.
Right there. The flag guy, America.
Oh.
But yeah, and then we came home to a giant tree through our roof.
Really?
Yeah.
No joke.
No joke.
So we've just talked about the worst of storms that come here in Florida, but one of the most, I don't want to say confusing or fun parts of when the hurricane is coming is watching people not from Florida trying to figure out which side of the state to go to. Because that I remember very clearly in our last hurricane.
Everybody flees.
Everybody
and
flees.
We don't, I don't say that in a rude way, like making fun of anybody. We all have different fears. Like if I were in, I don't know, Connecticut, and they're like, this huge snowstorm is coming. I'm out. I'm going to Florida. I'm out. I can't be snowed in.
Run.
No.
But that's because we're not familiar with it.
Right.
because we're Floridians, we've kind of understood that, the hurricane at any moment could go up one side, it could go up the other.
Yep.
And you see people like, oh, it's going to hit the West Coast. Everybody runs to the East Coast. All of a sudden, the hurricane's like, yeah, I'm just going to go this way.
It could dissolve.
Bam.
Last
Or
minute.
people go, I'll go north where it's safe. And then the hurricane just barrels right up the middle of the
I
state.
had some friends do that during Irma. Didn't lose power here. They did lose power up there. Can you imagine taking that journey and then you lose power anyway?
Right.
I'm not laughing.
And when the last hurricane came, I think it was 2 years ago. I have people that I'm connected with all over the state, and I started getting these. I would call them prophets online, because they were like, you just gotta get out, man. Just go, man. Just go. He's gonna get you where you need to go. I'm like, you do know if I leave, there's nowhere to go, right? And so basically what I'm trying to say is, as a Floridian, I'm kind of used to the storms, right? The storms are coming. I get used to it. It's not that I go arrogantly like I can make it through anything,
Right.
but I kind of get an idea how to weather the storm,
Yeah.
which kind of breeds a little bit of cockiness, maybe a little bit of Floridian arrogance about the storm. I mean, let's be real.
We all have things.
Summertime. You see the torrential downpour that hits at like 2 o'clock, right? We're all just like,
You
what?
can see the vacationers. Come on, kids.
Nah,
All right,
no.
kids, come on. It's time. Come on. I'm not telling you again. Let's go.
Right.
And then
What are we like?
we're just like, put up
are
the
you kidding
umbrella.
me?
Yeah.
We're chilling. Because over time, if you've grown up in Florida, you kind of know the signs of a storm.
Yeah.
Right? So I know for me, the first thing I know is going to happen, I get hit with a big, huge cold front. When I feel that cold front, I know it's actually legit going to come.
That wind.
You get this, you smell the rain.
Yeah.
Rain's about to come. You can see where the storm is.
Yep.
Right? But even as a Floridian, you had talked about you were actually still sitting on the beach one time as it's rolling in. And we have lightning detectors now that will go off.
Do we?
Well, see, that's why you're not paying attention, because as a Floridian, you're like, what's these noises?
Yeah.
The lightning detectors
Somebody's
are there.
car alarm is going off.
Right. The point being is you kind of get lulled into a sense of you just don't hear the warnings.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm building to a point here. There's a reason why. We've been in the Book of Revelation, right? We've been talking about these series of I guess you could say warnings that God sends.
Definitely.
Right. He's like, look, it's time for you to turn and come to me. I have everything you need, but mankind's heart is to do whatever they want to do. And they just keep waiting, and they keep waiting, and they keep waiting, and they keep waiting. And I liken that to when I see a storm, right? I hear the warnings. I'm like, I see the warnings.
Well, and it's like, I don't know if we think, oh, that warning is not for me. That could be
Think
a
about
lot
it.
of it where it's just like, I hear it, but that's for the people from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Because they don't, know how to get pelted just the right way with the rain, and it doesn't affect you.
It's very true.
Or, it could just be total.
You get numb to it.
Complacency,
You
yeah.
get numb to it. You get numb to the warnings. You get numb to the signs, so to speak. But then, have you ever heard somebody like let's say they're driving a convertible, right? And they get caught in a torrential downpour. And what is the first person that they tend to blame? They blame the weatherman. Like as if he could control what was going to happen to you, right?
I mean, they are wrong a lot.
No comment. The point being is that often we don't look at the warnings that were sent to us.
True.
We don't take heed. We don't take shelter, so to speak. And then when we're caught in it, we get mad at everything else except for our own, I guess you'd say, irresponsibility. And that's why I'm super excited about this series, is because that's kind of what it's about. God may look like he's this wrathful agent of
Doom.
sending his doom onto the planet. And if you really can take a step back and you see the bigger picture, is that really it's God's warnings, God's warning. He keeps saying, turn to me, I got everything you need and so much more. And I've shared this on a couple other lobby talks, but it was the Book of Revelation that got hold of my heart and sent me heading in the right way.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Man. Cheers to that, Jonah.
I started saying I was the Gordon's fisherman, and now we just got super deep. We stepped up our graphics.
How does anybody take us seriously?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But the point is, we know that today is the Lord's Day, and we're excited about what God is going to do in your life today. Go ahead and drop a shout out right below. We would love to meet you, love to hear who you are, where you're from, where you're watching, and stick around. In 5 minutes, church will be starting up. So let's get this going. All right, ready for our outro?
2 clicks.
2 click.
And we're out.
And we're out.